Hello there, welcome, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and anyone of any gender, to this episode of the podcast. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you're relaxing and taking in the fun times of this podcast, because today's guest is a poet, comedian called Standfast. And he is wonderful. He's a wonderful guy. He's a really nice guy. Okay? Really nice guy. Sometimes in life you need a nice guy. And today, if that's a day for you, then this is a good podcast to listen to because he's a nice guy. We recorded it in the morning. Yes, we weren't really awake yet. So it's a lovely podcast to listen to when you're not really awake. And you don't want anything to, la 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 la, too much talking or anything. I think we're pretty chilled out. So yeah, I think that's it really. So welcome to this episode of the podcast. Enjoy. You're listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Morning.
Good morning. Morning. The sun's out.
Yeah.
We're in a small room.
You're listening to the dulcet tones of. What are you?
Don't even know.
What would you class yourself as?
35-year-old man.
A 35-year-old man who, in public, reads poems.
And more than that, really.
More than
nowadays.
that?
Yeah.
What else?
I've moved on.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is Standfast.
Hello.
Yeah.
Read with poems. Shout with words. And yeah, is it art? It's art, I think.
What's your first name?
You can call me Graham.
Graham.
Yeah.
I can use your real name.
You can do, yeah.
You never know.
No one knows who the other guy is either. So.
I had a comedian on the other day he's changed his name. Just the other day, I had a comedian on who's changed his name.
Saturday night.
Yeah. And my first guest was a comedian who uses a stage name. Wayne Carter.
Is that his stage? Is
Yeah.
that not his real name?
No.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to listen to the podcast.
No, we don't. We're not.
You don't actually know it.
I think I'm not sure if we talked about it, because I mean, there's not much point going into it, really, is there? Because there's a reason they've chosen it, and they probably don't really want to talk about.
Yeah, especially if it's a normal sounding name.
Yeah.
Like Standfast is obviously not my name.
Mm. Where did you?
But it could be Wayne Carr. Why did you do this? If that is.
Well, he works.
Okay.
Some people work in certain
schools.
jobs. Yeah, schools.
Yeah. Okay.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, snap. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is that why you came up with another name?
No, I just got allocated it when I worked in Manchester by one of my colleagues who just gave everyone one night elaborate nicknames.
Okay.
And my nickname was Standfast Goddard.
Great.
Because my surname's Goddard, but
Mhm.
so I just stuck with that. Standfast, and then O could be surprise or disappointment. So, not really building anyone's hopes up.
When did you add that?
Standfast. When I maybe started doing more comedy sort of stuff. When I was doing spoken word, it was Standfast Goddard, but then when I got rid of the surname, when I started doing more comedy bits.
And you're enjoying comedy?
I prefer the alternative
people
scene.
Or just what you get to do on stage? And
what I get to do without necessarily just reading a poem. I get to do more. And enjoy it more, I think. It's a bit more social as well, I guess. Although I still get along with a lot of stand-up poets and stuff. But the traditional sort of poetry nights, I can't really get away with. Yeah. I just felt because I was doing it because it was funny. Some people thought I was not really taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have been able to tell them who my favourite poet was.
Alright.
And that was a major part of the conversation.
They say you can't choose the comedian you become. Would you choose that comedian you are becoming if you could choose? Good question.
It's a very good question. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I didn't know when the question was going to stop. But they also say I would have chosen this. I did choose this. So yeah.
No, you didn't choose this
Didn't I
because they
choose
say
it?
you can't choose.
Oh, sorry.
They can't. You can't. They
I
say
chose the next one,
you can't.
but then got this one. The one I wanted sold out. I ended up getting this.
Okay, so that's interesting. So maybe you can choose.
Well, surely you.
What I mean
If you didn't want to do it, you can't.
it may be more stand-up thing, but
Maybe.
they say you can't really choose what kind of stand-up you are. Maybe like when it comes to one-liners or storytelling
I
and
guess.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just kind of like end up doing the
You either
thing
got
that
a
you're
knack-
best at.
A knack for it. Yeah. I don't think I could do.
But I suppose you've
Don't really have
been
any
trying
jokes.
other things through other things, and maybe you've ended up on this. No?
Yeah.
Me? No. Okay,
I think
fine.
because I started with the spoken word stuff,
Yeah.
and then I just upped it a gear to get into the alternative comedy sort of thing. And now the poems are still in there, but not as much. No, I try to ad lib a bit more and stuff, just to make it more
Would you
interesting for me.
Would you like to do stand-up?
I'd like to be able to do it. Yeah,
Great answer.
thanks.
Do you like
What
to hear
next?
your own voice back in recordings?
Not really.
Are you going to listen to this podcast?
I will do.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You're going to listen to it?
yeah. Just to make sure you put it up. I remember getting back from a gig in Brighton where because I bought myself a dictaphone to record every single gig, and I think I've only ever taken it to one gig. So it's kind of if I don't have to carry something, I'd rather not carry something. And the gig went really well, and I just kept listening to the gig on the train home. And then when I got back, I listened to it in my kitchen about 5 times. And then I recently it was a couple of years ago, the gig, and I recently listened to it, and it was awful.
Yeah.
It's like, why did I say that? That's awful. There's not as many laughs as I can remember.
No.
Me thinking there were
Absolutely.
when
Yeah.
I first listened to it back. Yeah, it's just about if it's enjoyable. Like, I don't want to ruin anyone's night.
Aww.
So if
what? Why would you say that?
No, but I'm always thinking about that in
I suppose your act's
gigs.
quite
It's quite
visceral.
loud.
It's quite a visceral act.
yeah.
It's very emotional at times. I can imagine it ruining
Bit
someone's
intense.
night.
It could ruin someone's night.
More than some middle-class white guy with a t-shirt
Yeah.
talking about hunting.
Yeah, or expensive.
Tinder.
London's expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or Tinder. Yeah.
Are they hack subjects? London's expensive.
I don't know. Is it? I've got a bit. No, I don't. It's not the hack, is it?
Voting's my new thing.
Voting.
Yeah, but I've got a good bit about voting.
Yeah. I haven't really got any. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to. I can't really. How do you write? How do you write your stuff?
That is writing. Whenever I think about other comedians writing, whenever I hear them talking about writing, it scares me because I'm like a lot of. I think, like a lot of comedians, I don't write at all, ever, hardly ever sit down and write. And you hear all the top comedians go. Well, the only things you have to do is get up more, which means get on stage more, and write.
And
much
try
as you
this and
can.
try and.
Yeah, but
I can't
I
do
can't
that.
do either of those
No.
things.
I can't.
No one wants to book me for a gig.
Oh, so you can't even get on stage.
I can't even
to
get
try,
on stage,
even if you had anything.
even if I had.
Luckily,
any.
you haven't.
When
got
I,
any.
yeah, when I get on stage, it's like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah.
here again.
Back to the gold.
Freestyle it.
Yeah. Doing really well nowadays. Or... yeah, I can't sit down and write to say, right, today I'm going to write some material.
Have you tried?
Once, maybe.
What happened? You got your laptop out?
Pretty much.
Weird, isn't it?
And then just for...
You're like, what? Do I do a Word document? Or is it
is it Word? Or
just a note?
Is it just
maybe
a note?
Just a little...
No, I prefer writing.
Writing it down, yeah. I think...
Then I just leave the house.
So your poems come to you quite fully formed, do you think?
But it could be any part of the poem. So it could be the...
Right. And then you work the rest out.
One good line and then write around it.
Are there any poems that you've worked on a long time and you've changed a lot, or do you find they've pretty much, you get the idea and then...
I haven't adapted any. I might change the titles. And that's it.
You're listening to Poetry Chat. What's the name of this podcast episode? Chat about poems. Funny poems, so...
Why I change the titles of poems? Why change the poem when you can just change the title?
You're listening to Standfast in the morning. I can imagine you...
It's getting worse.
I can imagine you in a... Oh, man.
Is that the heating? Is that my stomach?
That's the heating, yeah. That's like the pipes. Don't worry, it only lasts for about 3 hours.
3 days.
Oh, I didn't.
Is
think
that just
about that.
heats you up for the week?
I've never had this problem.
I think it makes it more realistic.
You're listening to Standfast, Peter Baisley, in the boiler room.
There's a famous thing called the boiler room, though.
I know, yeah. What is it, like music or something?
But it doesn't have any sound of plumbing or anything
No.
going on. And it's not really, it's just like some sort of, it's quite a nice room. It's a bit of a waste for a boiler room, I think.
What?
I can never see a boiler in there when they broadcast it on YouTube.
It's a DJ thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Boiler room?
Joel's Peterson boiler room session or something.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's actually...
It's never a real boiler room.
They probably thought,
like
let's not use a real boiler room because the pipes will just interrupt everything.
This is a boiler room. They've just put a wall in between.
Well,
the boiler's
yeah,
literally
barely,
just there.
it just looks like, that's plasterboard, isn't it? Plasterboard ceiling.
Do you get nervous ever?
I get more nervous about getting to gigs on time.
Getting to gigs on time? Wow, you have a problem.
I do have a massive problem. Expensive problem, because I get there on time and the only way to kill time, because I'm there so early, is to have a beer.
Yeah.
Then I'm already £5 into the gig.
£5 down because we're in London. Yeah, most of your gigs in London.
Yeah.
Pints are now about £5.
Roughly, round it up. Yeah.
Round it up, round it down sometimes.
Round it down,
Places I go.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah, when they get it out of a can as well.
Oh, yeah.
Pour it into glass. It's like a soda can, mate.
Can of beer. Unbelievable.
What have they
Do
done?
you ever sneak drinks in to gigs?
I used to drink probably too much. I know.
You an alcoholic?
No. More of a hobby. Really into it.
Yeah, just a big like a life hobby.
Yeah.
A really big one.
Really into it. No. Yeah, I can control it. So I'm not like...
Sorry, can I just go back? I don't like the way I said life hobby there. I don't think it was funny. Is it? What else could I say there? It would have been funnier punchline for me. A witty thing to say. More of a hobby, more of a life hobby. It's not...
Life skill? No, it's not a life skill, is it? It's not a skill.
More of a full-time hobby.
Full-time hobby?
Is that funny?
Yeah.
Okay, let's redo that.
Yeah.
So, are you an alcoholic?
No, I wouldn't say alcoholic. It's more of a hobby.
More like a life skill. Wait, what?
Yeah, life skill, yeah. The thing we agree
Life
not
hobby.
to say, life hobby, yeah.
I am being funny.
Yeah, I know. Can you not tell?
Do you ever get nervous when you're doing a podcast and you don't think you're funny at all?
Yeah.
And you get people to come and you interview them and then you don't think you're funny?
Yeah, no, I don't think
I don't get that.
Don't you? I get that. I don't think I'm...
Standfast, Peter Baisley, in the boiler room. Listening to Poetry Chat. What's your favourite pen?
Oh, one
question I like to ask all of my performers. Hello.
Can
What's
I
your
say
favourite pen?
One with quite a bit of padding around where you hold it. It's my favourite kind.
Oh, you're a fan of the padding.
Yeah.
The other day I had someone say a quill.
Yeah, I don't like this scratchy sort of pen. I like it to be like nice, easy to write, smooth.
Do you remember the first pen you used? First fountain pen?
First fountain pen? Oh yeah, probably from W.H. Smith's for like Christmas present from my nan or something. Or
Yeah, the red one.
Oh, mine was blue.
You had the blue one.
Blue, yeah. And then it's fun to start with, isn't it? And then it becomes a bit inconvenient, I think.
Where did you grow up? If you don't mind me asking.
I was born in Stratford in East London.
Wow.
But then all my school was like Essex and stuff.
Essex.
So I grew up in Essex, I guess.
Everyone's from Essex these days.
No, it's not far from here though, is it?
I suppose that is my fault for moving near to Essex.
Yeah. The further away you get.
Once dated a girl in Kent. She was a bit of a lovely young girl, and but very Essex, you know.
Yeah.
Tan. She was a hairdresser. She broke my heart. Anyway,
Listening to Poetry Chat.
you give out your poems sometimes.
On little cards.
Seen
Yeah.
you give out
Oh
poems.
yeah, and on the canvases.
On
yeah.
canvases. Quite
Yeah.
nice. And someone posted on Facebook that they took it to all these different tube stops, didn't they?
On the way home, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, and they took
So that
pictures of it
works.
with the tube station signs.
Yeah.
And then, and vice versa to that, on the opposite side of the scale, someone at a gig just left one, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Oh. After all
But
that,
it's up to them what to do.
that's difficult. When you create art, you have to expect some people to take it into their hearts and some people to shun it.
Shun it, yeah. But that's art, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I proved to myself that I'm an artist because I've had a piece shunned. Or just look.
I'm bored of talking about poetry now, mate.
Yeah, so am I. That's why I left it.
What's your favourite cocktail?
Wow.
You're listening to 100 Questions. Peter Baisley on Standfast.
Mojito.
Okay.
Quite like that. It's a bit fresh.
Have you ever been to Ibiza?
No, I've not.
Ibiza.
I've not.
Have you been to Kuala Lumpur?
I have.
What?
I
What are
have.
the chances?
Yeah, I know.
I tried to think of the weirdest name.
Yeah.
Place. And what's it like?
It's alright. It's quite hot.
Okay.
Got
Have you?
the moped.
You got a moped?
Well, it was a taxi rank. And I got off the coach because I can't remember where I'd come from.
Shops.
Got off the coach. Yeah. So went down a big shop in Wood Green and got this coach. Ended up in Kuala Lumpur. And I got the guy was like taxi. So I had my big bag. I was expecting to get into a car. He just walked me around, and his taxi was a moped between two cars, and he put my massive rucksack between his legs, and I got in the back. It's like being in a computer game. It's pretty dangerous, I think, but I'm here.
Was it just a small moped then?
Yeah, just like
wasn't
a
like a really nice sort of double seat
No, it's just like a
cruiser.
yeah, to squeeze two people on.
How scared were you on a scale of 1 to 100?
70.
Did you think you would die? Did you say a prayer?
I didn't say a prayer.
Interesting.
It's too much. I couldn't say anything because there's too much wind in my face.
Too much wind.
It didn't have like.
Didn't have a mask or anything.
No, just a sort of helmet.
You just had a helmet, no visor.
No visor, no.
Yeah.
Holding on to the little thing.
Holding on to the thing, not him.
At the back. Yeah.
You didn't hug him.
No.
That's awkward. That has got to be really scary, man.
Yeah. But yeah, that was. I can't really remember a lot of that bit of the trip because I was running out of money pretty quickly. So I was thinking a lot about. I just need to make sure I've survived to
Wow.
fly home.
How did you end up out there?
I met my mate in New Zealand because he was going around the world, and then I just jokingly said, "I'll meet you there for a pint when you're halfway."
No
to
way.
New Zealand, and then I just quit my job and done it
That is awesome, man.
because you could borrow money easier then.
You could.
I had a credit card and a loan,
No way.
and it was too easy to borrow money.
Wow. When was that? 96?
Back in the time of fountain pens, man. No, it's still 2000s ish.
That's great, man. That is really inspiring. I want to do something like that. I want to throw myself. I'm getting a lot of. The universe is telling me a lot of these. It's repeating these things to me. Yeah. One of the things it's saying to me is you've got to throw yourself out there, get out of your comfort zone, and that's something I want to do once I've just got myself nice and comfortable.
once I've settled down.
Once I've prepared enough.
That's
the problem. You know.
Once you've got enough in place to come back.
I want to prepare
something before you go all out.
So once I'm out of my comfort zone, I know I've still got my comfort zone
at home.
That's not possible, is it? That's not possible.
That's just going on holiday.
You've just got to quit your job and say, you know what, guys, shove it. Yeah, shove your job. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Although I might have it when I get back, please.
Please, yeah.
No, I feel life just passes you by, man.
Well, it does keep on going.
But you strive for comfort when you're in the state of turbulence, and when you're in a state of comfort, you're just like, I'm wasting my life.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm saying, guys, you're never happy.
Never dream.
Never.
You know that. Or dream.
Dream.
But it might not. Yeah, it might turn into a nightmare.
You're listening to 100 Questions. Poetry Chat.
Oh, Standfast, Peter Paisley, in the boiler room. It would get
Do you think
worse.
people's social skills are getting worse now?
Good question.
Thank you.
You're listening to Britain 2016. Is it getting worse? The podcast. Do I think... We've just had a great question here from Graham. He's just asked me, do you think people's social skills are getting worse in the year 2016? Good question. What do you think?
Aha. I think they are.
Good stuff. Okay, next question.
That was a good question.
Good question. Good question. Is that a good question?
Self-service checkout or normal checkout?
Oh, you're asking me questions now?
Yeah.
The hunter has become the prey. You're listening to The Hunter Has Become the Prey podcast. I don't like the word podcast anymore.
No, I don't.
No, it's not cool.
Five Guys.
Guys. Do you like those burgers? £8 for a burger.
Oh, well, since yesterday I've turned pescatarian.
Ooh, well, enough about your politics, mate. Talking about food.
Yeah.
A little humour there for the listeners.
That's funny. It's good.
Don't.
Keeper.
I'm not funny. I'm not a funny guy. Listening to Peter's Not a Funny Guy podcast. If there's one thing I've learned from making this podcast, it's that I'm not funny. And I do a lot of Alan Partridge imitations. Anyway, so...
Alan Bennett.
Is that Alan Bennett?
I think so.
I don't know who that is. Oh, you've done a Captain Mawhoopsie. Is that who that is?
That might be.
Okay.
Or Alan Carr, you know. You're doing all the Allens.
I'm doing Alan Carr.
That's back to Partridge.
Oh, yeah.
Alan Shearer.
No, that was...
No.
It's not good.
I don't know who that
Yeah, I'm
is.
trying to do the laugh of Alan... Wait, no, Jimmy Carr. Oh, I've gone into the cars.
No, we're sticking with Allens, but yeah.
Oh, dear.
Peter Paisley does the Allens.
What is the most offensive joke or poem you've ever written? And will you perform it for us now? Will you be performing any poems for us on the podcast? I didn't ask you to.
No,
I didn't.
today,
You're
no.
not prepared.
You asked me now.
So I
I'm trying to steer away from it.
Okay, fine. I respect that.
Thanks.
I respect you. I am Peter Paisley.
You're listening to Peter Paisley Respects You.
Peter Paisley Respects You, the podcast.
I've done some stuff that's been misunderstood and then someone's got offensive.
Controversial.
And it's just like,
Tell us about that.
I've offended someone by saying the word bitch before, repeatedly in the poem. But it's more it was more a sort of spin off from rap.
Yeah, you were commenting on the overuse of profanities in rap.
Yeah. It wasn't exactly it wasn't what I thought.
To do that, you had to use the word.
I thought it'd be funny if I was saying that word.
Yeah. And what happened this Was it a girl or a guy?
Yeah, they're just quite upset that it's a derogatory
Always
term.
the women. Ladies, if you
Which
don't
is
want
fine. Which is fine. Is it fine? We've got to say it's fine.
Well, you don't like girls, do you?
Oh, yeah. So, what? No, I do like them. My mum's one. Whee.
Yeah.
Some of my best mates are girls.
How can I hate Muslims? My dad's one. He's not.
But if
Who
he
did you
was,
vote for,
still be your dad.
by the way? UKIP?
Me.
I've got a friend who votes for the Tories. Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
Let's not talk about politics.
I know someone who voted for them.
He's got money.
Yeah.
So, what were we talking about? You're listening to what were we talking about? FM. FM radio. Do you remember medium wave?
Yeah.
Not much on there.
Long wave.
Long wave. Do you remember tape recording songs off the radio?
Yeah. Making it.
Wasn't
Yeah.
that great?
Taping the charts sometimes.
Yeah, you're listening to reminiscing about the good old days for people who were born in the 80s. Were you born in the 80s?
Yeah. 81.
Good. Yeah, I think actually would have been better to be born at a different time.
Do you?
Yeah. I think it's a weird...
So you could enjoy
it was
those earlier times or not?
Maybe earlier, maybe later. I think the 80s were good years and we missed them by being children.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't want to be... I'm glad I'm not.
I just want to be young again.
Do you? I wouldn't want to be young nowadays.
I want to be young. I want to live forever.
Really? Yeah.
Don't you? I'm not
I'm
growing
quite
up.
happy.
I'm immature. I'm never going to grow up. My friend's just had a baby. One of my oldest friends just had a baby.
You live in a boiler room.
I live in a boiler room. He's had a baby. He's got a job, a career, a woman. He's got a woman.
What have you got?
What have I got?
TV?
I've got a TV. I need to get rid of it. All I ever do is play my video games on the TV.
Video game. Come on, man. You're 33.
I know! Well, I know! It's not panning out the way I thought it would. How did you see your life panning out? You're listening to Panning Out.
Peter Baisley pans out. I don't know.
A lot of your comedy comes from a sort of sense of failure and maybe not being where you want to be in life. Would you say? Would you agree with that? Is that a fair statement? You're listening to Fair Statements.
I don't know. I'm happy, but
say that into the mic without yawning.
Oh yeah, I'm happy.
Excellent.
You're listening to I'm happy.
With Standfast and Peter Baisley.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have some savings.
This is the worry, isn't it?
I haven't got any.
No.
I don't owe any money.
That's good, considering your japes in Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah. Well, that took ages to pay
What's
back.
the best place you've ever been?
New Zealand, I think.
In a spiritual way, I mean.
Well, I don't even know what that means.
Me neither. Let's go back to what you said.
Yeah.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
They're funny people, aren't they?
Nice.
Funny,
nice.
quaint people.
That's a lot in the middle of nowhere as well, so that's good.
Are you going to keep yawning?
I think I am.
This whole
I don't know why I started yawning.
People,
yeah.
This is going to be a good podcast to listen to when you go and sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gently
People
go
will
to sleep.
probably use this in years to come as a podcast to help them get to sleep when they have insomnia.
Which is...
Do you ever have insomnia?
I don't really sleep much.
Oh, I hate people like that.
Yeah.
Grumpy.
Always yawning.
Angry people. Do you get angry when you drink a lot?
No.
Do you become a different person?
No, I don't think
You wouldn't know, would you?
No. It's blind drunk. No, I'm not angry. I'm not an angry person.
Okay. Do you want a break?
Yeah, because I'm going to lose my temper in a minute.
Do you want a little break?
I don't mind.
Or do you want to crack on?
Should we just crack on?
Oh.
I mean, we don't really know where it's going to end, do
Why
we?
does everyone always say that? Let's have a nice little break. No, Pete, let's just crack on, get this done with.
Yeah.
Fucking off.
Come on, it's a nice day, man.
Yeah, go outside. Enjoy the sun. Have you ever stayed in all day?
All day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I probably would have stayed in today.
Really?
So it's quite nice coming.
Yeah, that's...
But there's nothing wrong with that, because if you're really busy in the week, you got to have a bit of your own time.
Do you cook noodles?
Noodle, I don't know.
You don't cook noodles?
No.
You
Eat
strike
them
me
raw.
as the man that would
I
cook
see them dry.
noodles. You're a pescatarian. What do you
As
eat?
of yesterday.
As of yesterday?
Yeah, so
What
fish,
does that
I guess.
mean? What? Sorry. What's a pescatarian?
It's vegetarian, but you eat fish.
Oh, what have the fish ever done to you? Yeah.
Probably nothing, but I couldn't go full on vegetarian. I'm not really doing it for ethical reasons.
Why are you doing it?
So I stopped buying like pork pies and sausage rolls and stuff.
You're listening to 100 Questions. Oh, it's free chat.
You're listening to I'm Happy.
You listen to boring chat. What's the worst gig? Graham, what's the worst gig you've ever done? You're a comedian, poet. What's the worst gig you've ever done?
And the worst gig I ever done was it was like for this record label it was like an EP launch, but they wanted like a couple of comedians on first, but the band they were launching were Italian, so everyone in the audience was Italian, so they just didn't get any references or the language. So yeah, that was a waste of time.
Who's your least favourite comedian?
Least favourite?
Mm-hmm.
Oof, can I say that? Because I might gig
if you
them
want.
and think what.
It's up to you. I've said it before. Mine's John Long.
Is it John Long? Is it actually John Long?
Sure. We have to come up with one name for this episode. We don't have to. Don't worry about it.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Don't worry about it. That might be.
Don't worry about it.
You're listening to Don't Worry About It.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you do me a little sting? A little voice?
You're listening to Don't Worry About It with Peter Baisley and guests.
One more time?
I'm not doing it
Because
again.
I cut into you a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not doing it again. If there's no money involved, I'm not doing it, mate, yeah.
And that is classic Graham.
Jeez, yeah.
If there's no money involved, I'm not doing it again.
Once,
should be on your gravestone.
Once for free, then that's it, yeah.
Comedy gravestone.
I'm not coming back if I'm not getting paid. That'll be on my gravestone.
So we're coming into land now. This is coming into the last...
Coming into land with Peter Baisley.
Coming into land.
Hey.
And then there's a sound effect of a plane coming into land.
And like,
I like that, actually.
The seatbelt thing.
Mate, that's good, isn't it?
Coming into land with
Yeah.
Peter. Yeah.
Because the podcast is unnamed as of yet.
I think, I think for now.
It could be. That's a strong
Coming
contender.
into land.
Coming into land. You think?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
With
like
the
it
plane.
yet. No, I've said it
Then
again.
like the
With the sound effects, yeah, great.
with the sound effects, yeah. But then,
And then
the picture could be you looking out of a plane window.
Oh, mate. You are good with branding and stuff, man. Seriously.
Coming into land.
Have you ever worked in design
No.
or idea? It's because you
Place.
used to work in music, isn't it? Developing artists.
Yeah.
You see the album covers.
All the bands I've worked with, their debut singles have been called Coming Into Land. And I'm sure one day that's going to pay off, so yeah.
Good.
We landed yet?
The follow-up album. The follow-up album. Have we landed yet? Oh, I should have said that more clearly. Would have been funnier.
Yeah.
Great. Well, just before you go, you work with people with mental health difficulties, do you?
No, I'm volunteer, yeah, for a male suicide prevention charity.
Great. Well, that's enough about that. Have you got any gigs coming up?
Always gigging. Always gigging. Yeah, got a gig on Monday, Kensal Green.
That's going to be my thing now. I'm going to ask really in-depth questions or
Okay.
just a little bit awkward,
yeah,
sort of, and then just cut it off.
Yeah,
and go to something else.
that's
my thing.
Yeah. Peter Baisley.
See, I am funny.
Cuts off.
What's some advice you'd give to the young people listening to this? Because a lot of people who...
A lot of young people were...
Well, people who...
Well, there were a lot of
generally, there's a lot of young people out there.
Yeah.
And they are online
Every day.
and listening to things and watching things.
Yeah.
What would you give some advice if you could go back, talk to your 7-year-old self? Because the demographics is about 7 years old.
Is it of this? They like planes, though, don't they?
7-year-old boys.
You're probably ruled in by the title of the podcast. I don't know.
What's it called? Taking off.
Coming into land.
Coming into land.
Taking
You're
off.
listening to Coming into Land. That's good.
Yeah.
Coming into land.
Bing. Buckle up your seatbelts. We're coming into land with Peter Basie next after the travel. There's been a horrific plane crash in Gatwick Airport. That's really, yeah.
That's really good, man.
That noise is quite unnerving, isn't it, in a plane? Bing. Yeah, because you just think, what is that? Why are they saying put your seatbelts on?
Quite secretive, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like, it's not alarming, but it's also not.
Anyway, so we're flying on a
Podcast Airways, Peter Basie. Probably about 6 minutes to landing, I think.
So this is it. This is coming to the end now.
Yep,
Graham,
it's been nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Nice.
Do you
reason to get out?
Do you find it difficult to give love?
Yeah.
Great. Well,
You're listening to
Coming into line with Peter Basie next of the club.
Poetry Chat.
where do you live?
Pounds Green.
What's that like?
It's quite family sort of.
Yeah.
There's not a high street.
Do you like it?
I like it because it's cheap.
Okay.
It's convenient. It's easy. It's
Reminds me of my ex.
Yeah,
No, she was expensive.
X chat with Peter Basie.
Talking about girls that didn't exist.
Du-du-du-du-du-du.
Oi! We've got good banter, mate. I think we should
Good jingle.
we should do a radio show at some
yeah.
point in our future lives. Maybe not just too soon.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
We're not quite matured enough as human beings to do a radio show.
Yeah, we're probably not.
When will that happen?
I don't know.
Do you ever look at people and go, "Oh, they're an adult. When am I going to be an adult?"
I do sort of, yeah.
Don't you hate
It's
it
a
when
long
people
time,
ask you if you've got a 5-year plan?
Yeah, I haven't got a 5-year
So
plan.
business orientated.
Yeah.
I'll be just thinking, oh,
I'm
what's
40.
going on?
I'm 40, that'd be quite
Oh, you're
good.
going to be 40 in 5 years.
So that'd be cool,
Flipping
I guess.
heck. But don't worry, 40's the
40.
new,
I don't
new
feel like
whatever.
I feel like I should have grown up by now. 40's.
I think 40 for me is going to be a big one. I'm definitely going to flip out if I haven't sorted stuff out by then.
Yeah.
I don't know what I mean by sorted stuff out. I'm never going to be
nor do
happy. Never going to be happy.
I'm happy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, let's look back in 50 years' time when we're looking back at this podcast.
85. Geez.
85. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
With
know,
all our money.
you could be the hot property right then. You maybe
I could have just broke.
just got in.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, "Oh, this guy, he's so visceral. He's so real. He's so 2016.
You returned after
He hasn't
50
moved
years.
on. He never moved on, but he got
Yeah.
very good at what he does."
Now I'm delighted to have on after he made his debut on Coming Into Land 50 years ago.
Coming into land.
Yeah.
Your #1 podcast for listening when you're on an aeroplane.
Coming Into Land.
Coming into land. Coming into land. Ooh, coming into land. Ding. Please, do up your seatbelts, please.
Please, have your seatbelt, please. If a pilot sounded like that, I'd be like, ooh. Yeah.
What's the ideal ethnicity of a pilot? That's a controversial question.
It's a controversial question. I don't. I've never thought of that. As long as they can fly, as long as they've got a license.
I'll tell you, I've got a problem with racism on this podcast, especially because when I feel like I'm not being funny, I will try and shock, and people at home might think I'm racist, and I probably am.
That is shocking.
But if you admit it, it's okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's how that works. Great.
Yeah,
okay, so
and I think we've landed.
when we're landed, so there we go.
The sound of that. The landing.
And we're into land. Yeah.
And then maybe people clapping. It's a bit turbulent.
All right.
And people like shuffling around.
Getting their bags.
Some idiot's already standing up.
He's already standing up. I hate people.
The plane's got to the gate.
Just wait, guys. We're all getting off at the same time.
Yeah, through that door. It's not going to happen immediately. But we enjoyed it.
All right.
I enjoyed it.
Bye.
Good, thanks. Bye.
Just about to go to the toilet. Then what happened to me? Couple of guys hypnotised my eyes.